Hey everyone, Steven here. Today's video, we're going to talk about cold air intakes. Does it actually give you better gas mileage? And does it give you more horsepower? The simple answer to that, both those questions, is yes. But it all depends on your circumstances. And that's what we're going to get into. Alright, so first and foremost, welcome. My name is Steven, and glad to have you here. So if you're watching this video, you're probably curious about cold air intakes and whether or not they actually make you go faster and they help you get more gas out of your tank. So, simply put, we'll jump into horsepower first. Dynos will tell you all day long that different companies are going to say, get 5 to 10 horsepower from us. Increase your torque. They're going to throw a lot of things at you saying that you can go a lot faster. Now, a lot of this depends on your actual vehicle. Some vehicles have finely tuned intake systems for their engines. Like, let's take an Audi or a BMW, for instance. Those are finely tuned machines that you probably don't want to be touching too much on those cars without getting retunes. Because those things are made specifically for those engines. And if you throw a quarter intake off on there, you could, hypothetically, throw off BMW or Audi's precision tuning that they've done for that intake for that car. So, the answer is yes, you can get it, but it depends on your car. Now, say you have a little Honda that's throwing down 150 horsepower, like a little Civic or a little Accord, and you want to squeeze a little more horsepower out of that, you can probably throw an intake on there and get a couple more horsepower out of it. But let's be honest, most of the time, people put intakes on their cars for the sound. It sounds cool. You get the little hissing sound. A lot of people like it for that. Let's be honest, I like it for that. I like the little extra noise that comes with it. Am I getting more horsepower? Probably not. In my Infiniti that I drive, probably getting no more horsepower than I did before. But I think it sounds cool. So next is your gas mileage. So I personally did a study on regular intake, short ram intake, and a cold air intake using 2 different setups on my car for the cold air intake. I'll put a link in the description below showing you guys what my brand new setup is and how I was actually able to get the most miles per gallon out of my tank using a cold air intake. So overall, usually it helps you get better gas mileage. Running on a stock setup, I was averaging about 20.5 miles a gallon. And that's basically me just driving to work and back every day. Highway, I think I drive about 3 miles total off of the highway. So for the last month I've been doing a check, or when I had the stock I was doing a check, not driving hard, not driving rough, just driving averaging about 20.5 miles a gallon. Then we switch over. I bought an engine cold air intake. So I used it as a short ram before. For the short ram, I was averaging about 21.5 miles a gallon. So immediately with the short ram, I went up 1 mile a gallon. It already helped out. So I drove on the short ram in California for 3 months during rainy season. I kept the short ram on there. I recently, about a month ago, went to a cold air intake. There, if you don't know what that looks like, check my other videos out. I'll put a link below showing my cold air intake. So the cold air intake has now been on for about a month, and I've been using it, and I fill up every week, so we filled up about 4 times now. First 2 times I filled up, I used it with everything else in the car was stock. And I was getting about 22 miles a gallon, so it went up maybe half a mile a gallon. Not much of an increase for switching it from short ram to cold air intake. And when I say I ran stock, I mean I ran the rest of the Infiniti's body parts as stock. I changed nothing else in the body. All I did was put the cold air intake down there, and that was it. Now, my latest little invention, we'll call it, which it'll have a link down below in the description to what I've actually done recently. I'm averaging the last 2 weeks 23 23.1 to 23.2 miles a gallon. So I'm finally getting just above the average that you're supposed to be getting for this car. Well, can you get more miles per gallon out of the car? Absolutely you can. Again, it'll depend on the car you have, and it'll depend on your conditions. When it's really hot outside, 80 to 90 to 100 degrees outside, you're sucking in a lot of hot air already, and you're not really helping your car out that much anyways. Now, when it's colder outside, say you're driving and it's 40 to 60 degrees, even to 70, you actually can help your car get better gas mileage with the exact same setup as when it's 90 to 100 degrees outside, because you're going to be sucking in air that's a lot colder already. Now, other factors go into this, like if you have a heat shield for your intake, if you have wrap around your intake. So there's a lot of factors that can go into this, but just running a stock cold air intake, you can get better gas mileage. It all depends on the car you have and the conditions outside. The colder it is outside and you're sucking in that cold air, for me personally, I found that I actually get better gas mileage when it is cold outside rather than when it's like today and I'm sweating and it's 100 degrees outside. So I wouldn't be getting as good gas mileage today as I was if it was like 60 degrees outside. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to help you guys out. Like I said before, I like having the cold air. I like the sound. It does give me, on average, over stock, about 2.5 miles per gallon more. So it has helped me out in my Infiniti. If you guys have examples that you guys like to share, please feel free to comment below. Let me know what kind of car you have and if your cold air intake is helping you or not. And if you maybe feel any horsepower difference, or you just like the sound also. So let me know. Like this video, guys. Really appreciate it. All you guys that keep watching my videos. Have a great day. Peace out.